Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 49. This one I'm reviewing the 836th episode of the One Piece anime, Bomb's Secret, the Giant Island, Elbaph, and a Little Monster. Yeah, that's the name of this story. Yeah, pretty much this episode, along with the following one, is just Big Mom's backstory. That's literally what this is. This episode is roughly the first half of that. The episode opens up, well, what you said, previously on thing. In the case of the present day stuff, you don't get a chance to see it that much. Aside from the flashback, well, and some clips from other storylines, like, well, you get a chance to see references to stuff from Edo's Lobby, Edo's Lobby, Little Garden, and Dressrosa. Yeah, all three of those I can mention here because there are various characters who appear in this flashback who do appear present day. Like, let's start with Dressrosa, which was the previous arc, which was two arcs before this current one. Hanjin, you get a chance to see a young version of him, exactly about, from the look of it, it looks like about, I'd say, roughly like about 50 years younger. Yeah, when he looks like a kid who looks like he's about 10, 12ish. You see him. You see the two giants that Usopp ran into their Eros lobby. Yeah, they actually appear in this one episode. And of course the legendary chiefs, which are mentioned here, and of course they do show clips of that particular thing, which I do love that great thing of continuity. Like, yeah, Luffy got a chance to meet these characters in present day. Yeah, Luffy got a chance to meet everybody. And of course, referencing the whole thing of the Straw Hat Fleece and like that, which was really nice. Linlin, basically, it's revealed in here, if you didn't read the manga, yeah, this is basically what happened with her. She was abandoned on Elbaph by her parents, and it's explained via dialogue. Apparently, she went on a rampage, which I will talk about at the end of the episode about that. And she had she had a backpack on here, and it was full of lots of sweets. Also, they do point out, though, via one of the captions in here, that she is at this point 5 years old. So that means this flashback takes place 61 years before present day. Because Charlotte Linlin, aka Big Mom, is 66. Yep, she is 66. And even at age 5, she didn't really change all very much. I mean, yeah, she wears the same exact outfit like she does in present day. There's no change with that. Appearance-wise, with the exception of having wrinkles, and she's growing a little bit taller, because if I remember reading about this, is that at this point in time, Charlotte Linlin was 9 feet tall at the age of 5. Currently, she's about 26 feet tall. Yeah, because she's a giant-sized human, one of several in the series. Heck, Gecko Moria, former warlord of the sea, he's a giant-sized human, along with, well, if you look at all the 7 warlords, even ones who have been warlords, the only one who's actually a normal height human was Hawkeye Mihawk. Yeah, he was the only one because he was still over 6 feet tall, and the guy's in his mid-40s. Yep. If you want to know how tall, if you're remembering about the character Dolph Mingle, he was 10 feet tall. Yeah. That's basically the thing comes to him. And they do show that, well, they show her nice side. She stops a fight, which she doesn't do in the manga, between a bear and a wolf. Oh yeah, and when she tried to put him in the same cage again, get them to become friends, and the bear ate the wolf, so she smacked the bear once, apparently killing it. Yeah, and Mother Comro, we had a chance to see her a little bit of her backstory. Yeah, where apparently she saves 5 giants from being executed by the Marines. They show like the backstory of the giant pirates in this one as well, which is nice. And I gotta point this out though, this episode is probably the first one to actually depict Elbaph in the anime. There's been shown like flashbacks of it, but this is probably the first time, probably post time skip, they've actually shown Elbaph. This is probably even earlier than the last time they showed Elbaph. Yeah, actually, it was a little bit later than that one. Yeah, because they do show Dory and Buggy and Dory and Borgy, the legendary chiefs. They show them in a flashback, and this roughly takes place like according to what they did, is that, well, this flashback takes place roughly like a little over 10, at least like 60 years or so, at least 10 years before, according to what they mentioned in the narration. This flashback takes place 10 years before the two giants who pop up in Ender's lobby, before they were captured by the Marines, which they lied to them about being captured, the legendary giants. And of course, Big Mom gets a chance to try these special sweet, which she hears about. She eats a whole bunch of them. Of course, she is stopped because she wants to make sure it's plenty for everybody. And she apparently is supposed to fast for 12 days. Yeah, apparently they didn't know for a fact that whenever she eats sweets, if they don't have a particular sweet for her in a particular period of time, she goes nuts. Yeah, this is even shown a couple times in the current anime. Heck, even the manga she does this where she goes nuts. She goes ballistic if she doesn't get a certain sweet that she wants. Excuse me. And the episode ends with her going on a rampage. Like she does in President, though. She doesn't have... I should point out, though, at this point, she does not have her devil fruit power. You know, the soul thing where she sucks people's life force out. She does not have that devil fruit at this particular point in time. She gets that from Mother Carmel, which, yeah. And this was a really good episode. It's interesting, though, that, yeah, people tend to be very critical about, well, giant-sized humans. I forgot to point this out, but this episode is an adaptation of chapter 866. Yep. And from what I can tell, they adapted the entire chapter. Yeah. But it's a good episode, and next episode looks like it's going to be the origin of the pirate crew that she forms years later. So we get more of Big Mom's backstory. Now let's talk about chapter 904 for One Piece, the entrance of the Revolutionary Army commanders. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Like with the last chapter, we see the return of characters that have been seen in a little while. And I'll get to who it is. The first we have the cover story of Orbis resigning from the kingdom he works for. Yep. And then we see the Revolutionary Army headquarters. And we see the guy who is technically this universe version of Frankenfurter. Yeah, the Queen of Queers. Yeah, he returns. This is probably the first time since Return of Sabaody this guy is showing up. It's great to see the guy. He's always a pleasure to see because he's such a good character. Plus, we also Return of Dragon. I don't remember her name. I think her name was I don't remember her name. She actually somebody who knows Sabo. Yes, Sabo makes a return in this chapter. Yeah, first time since Dressrosa he's shown up, and it is something though he's actually alive, because people respect that he died. Nope, he's actually alive, and his part of the chapter ends says, yeah, the Revere is finally time for us. This is of course going. This is Luffy's father, Dragon. Yes, it'll be our declaration of war against the Celestial Dragons, which those readers, like a lot of readers, probably like. Yeah, this is good because the Celestial Dragons are a group of really big douchebags. Yeah, they're terrible people. Yeah, these people keep slaves. They basically don't want to breathe oxygen because they think it's too good for them. Yeah, complete utter douchebags is what these people are. And heck, women are even had to serve for some reason. It's really bizarre though. I think it's like saying something. And then we see one of the other islands. We see a guy called Peakbeard. Yeah, he's got a bounty of 52 million, and apparently he works for Blackbeard for some reason. I don't know why. Where he raids a town, and apparently the town is supposed to be for the supposed to go for Celestial Dragons. And then we see this big chubby guy. They do say who this guy is later. And he beats up some stuff. And then we see a character who a lot of people think is Luffy's mother. I'm not kidding about this. People think this is actually Luffy's mother. And these 4 people are the following. The chubby guy, his name is Morley. The gorgeous woman who people are suspecting she's Luffy's mother is Balo Betty. There's also Lenenberg, who is this cat person, who's basically a cat with goggles, and Karasu, who's basically a bird. Karasu is the commander of the Northern Army. Lenberg is south. Bio Betty is the east, and Morley is the west. Yeah. I'll also point out though, Bio Betty. Yeah, she's got a tie on. She's got a cigarette in her mouth. She got her shirt open, and the tie is really just covering her just covering like the mid part between her breasts. Yeah, showing off how really sexy she is. Yeah, I don't have probably. I like these characters. I like the designs. It's really cool. I'm sure for male viewers, like thinking Bella Betty, and like they're probably like, ooh, man, we got some good fan service with seeing a woman's chest. Yeah, but it's interesting. She's not the only woman in the series to do this, but yeah, it's interesting. No chance to see this. Yeah, then she claims the island for the Revolutionary Army. Yeah, and it says like, okay, so like this might get a chance to take back against Blackbeard. They're like, we don't care. We're the Revolutionary Army. Yeah, Blackbeard, he's worth 50 million, huh? He says, Blackbeard won't let you get away with this. Which he's the one who started his flag. Yeah, she rises up against Blackbeard, and it's a pretty good note. So simply put, this is all about the Revolutionary Army, but I gotta admit, it's great to see these guys again, especially since the last time we heard from these guys was during the Zoo Island arc. I think it was like very early on when their headquarters was attacked by the Blackbeard pirates and the Marines, and it was rumored that the leaders were all dead, including Sabo. And I think for a lot of readers, they're so happy that Oda confirmed, yeah, they're not dead. They all survived. Which, thank you for that. Though, as for how the Blackbeard pirates found the headquarters, from what I remember, it was completely by accident. Yeah, the wrestler guy who was one of his top captains, I think his name is Jesus, I think it is. Yeah, the guy with the wrestling belt. Yeah, he snuck aboard the Revolutionary Army ship and just happened to find their headquarters because he really wanted to get off Dressrosa so badly. So he snuck onto their ship. That's how he found their headquarters. And somehow he still has transparency on him. So he contacted Blackbeard. He says, hey, I found this island. Like, I'm on this island, which also happens to be the Revolutionary Army headquarters. And Blackbeard was sort of like, huh. I'll have it right away with my fleet. And I'll do the war government a favor and get rid of these guys because they're a bigger problem than me. I'm sure that he probably was thinking that, though we probably don't get a chance to see that dialogue. Yeah. But, like I said, it is great to see the Revolutionary Army, and we get a chance to see more of it because we hear rumblings of it. We see a little bit of here and there, but we don't get a chance to see the higher-ups. Yeah, this was teased back, I believe, during Dressrosa, when they were calling upon all the big commanders, and now we finally get a chance to see these people. And they're all 4 of them people who actually are the commanders. They're all badasses. Yep. Though Sabo doesn't really do very much aside from call people and say, yeah, this is our decoration work as Celestial Dragons. And he just seen the few times he has seen one standing, and the rest of the time he is lying on the ground. He's smiling as he read the paper about what Luffy did back in the previous chapter. Of course, everybody's reacting to what happened there. It's just as big as what happened with Dressrosa and Alabasta. This is the 3rd time this has happened where the whole world is shocked at what Luffy did. Yeah, first it was Alabasta. Then, like, I think Fishman Island, they don't know what happened there because that wasn't, let's say, because there wasn't any press around, but you have Dressrosa because that was a lot bigger than what happened in Alabasta, and now we have what happened in Whole Cake, and it is something of basically what's happening here. And this is probably the first chapter of the series, probably in a while, that I've seen it. Probably not since, off the top of my head, probably not since, like, with the exception of the flashbacks, though, this is probably the first time I can think of where the One Piece, the Straw Hat crew, does not make an appearance in this chapter. They're referenced several times throughout this whole chapter, but no Luffy, none of the Straw Hat crew, which is weird because they were present in the last chapter, but yet this chapter they don't make an appearance. What's my rating for this chapter? 9.5 out of 10. Awesome chapter. It's really good. But now, like, if you want to jump on the manga, you probably, in order to get all, like, get this up, they probably would reference, like, later on. But One Piece is a long manga, and if you're going to jump onto it, you have to read, like, here, basically, they've only released the first 85 volumes. In Japan, they're up to 88 right now, which isn't too bad. Unlike what Tokyo Ghoul, which took a while to release 14 volumes for the course of 3 years, which was stupid. Yeah, where apparently volumes are coming every 2 months. It took a while to release these books here. But at least One Piece comes out a little more quicker. Thank God for that. But, not much else to say about this chapter. Really good. Alright, so that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for next week's episode, episode 50. Yeah, 50 episodes review. The only reason why I'm doing this today, because I didn't have much time yesterday to do this because, excuse me, I was doing a live show, and I had to go to my grandparents' house, so my Mother's Day yesterday, so I didn't have time to do this recording yesterday, so I did today, finally able to do it, and, yep. So tomorrow, expect to see reviews of Comic Corners and the first part of my 7 Deadly Sins review. Yeah, you see the first episode for that, hopefully tomorrow. Yep. But until I see you on my next review, bye.